Very much a kindred spirit to the woods myself.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Camping, all that kind of stuff.
Camping,
I may
hiking.
just look like a total nerd sitting inside playing video games all day, but there's a woodsman in me somewhere.
You're the guy who wears toggles.
I do. I have worn toggles.
What kind of a nerd wears toggles?
This kind of nerd.
A nerd doesn't even know what toggles are.
Of course they do. Toggles
They don't.
are like it's what you wear to like the Renaissance festivals and things like that. It's like the ultimate medieval garb.
Okay, I guess that is a little bit.
You must die.
Fine.
Mother, father,
Fine.
I got you there. Totally got you there. Well, oh man, that's a skull beast in the hands of FivePawns.
Ooh.
And a 2-drop as well.
The Cerberus for the
not-
5 point play, but Saber, if Saber draws into some early
Yeah. Right as you say, oh, maybe get some early curve. Ah, that's a Fangblade Slayer. Oh no.
Oh god! And for Swordcraft going first, you really don't want to be losing out on this. Basically, FivePawns is a step ahead, right? Saber went first, but FivePawns has a 1 and a 2.
Yep, FivePawns got the 1, 2, and the Bone Chimera coming out on this turn as well.
Shadow
There's
Generation
the
too.
Novice Trooper, but I think maybe
I think the
Grimnir's
Grimnir
probably. Yep. Yeah, being able
feels
to
better.
mitigate that damage, being able to take an attack from the Soul Squasher and
Yeah.
the Skull Beast, that's crucial.
Bone Chimera, though, is a great play.
Yeah,
He's going to be able to set up a situation where he's going to have the Soul Squasher and the Skull Beast
And he forced
and
out
the
the
Bone
zombie
Chimera.
part. But I mean, forced out. FivePawns was more than willing to trade that 2 cost right into the Grimnir.
Finally.
And Saber is more than willing to take out the Jinno, to put that on the field. Taking out the Soul Squasher, leading the Jinno with 4-1.
Yeah. Finally a situation here where Saber is answering back to the board.
Mm-hmm.
Already down to 16 health. FivePawns with a huge opening. It's just these early cards that are so effective for Shadowcraft. Getting lots of value, and Zombie Party as a removal, right? The 3 damage is you compare that to something like Whole Souled, you compare that to something like Sylvan Justice.
Mm-hmm.
That extra point of damage on it makes
It's
a big
huge.
difference in the early game.
Right. Very akin to Breath of the Salamander as a 2-drop, 3 damage. Both of them have enhance effects, but very dissimilar enhance effects.
Oh, okay.
Getting the ward and evolving the Trooper there just to go for that 4-bit of face damage, evening out the health bars, like that play from Saber.
And this is the question, right? So now you're starting to get face damage in. Was it too late, right? Would you have preferred to have early board control to kind of, both in terms of if Saber is getting raced out and that extra 4 points of damage that FivePawns got makes a difference, or the lack of early game face damage that Saber may have earned? Is that going to make a difference here?
Well, with an Albert in hand, I mean, that's where he wants to be right now. He's got that. He started with the hand that he wants to have right now.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh, and the Orthrus, check it out. That could be a massive tempo swing. But
Awkward.
pretty awkward because even evolved Orthrus wouldn't be able to take out the Trooper, so he's not going to be able to get perfect tempo this turn.
And no matter what evolves, it dies.
Man, a Shadow Reaper would feel really good on the board right now for FivePawns. But alas, just having to trade in his followers to gain tempo right there. Not buffing up your own Shadow Reaper. We'll see if he can come into that card later into the turn, maybe next turn.
Alwita's is a great draw
Alwita's is
here.
great right here. Putting more pressure on the board, more base damage. Getting that aggressive Storm and Ward as well. And there's a Death's Breath in the hand of FivePawns coming out from that last draw.
We're slowly creeping up higher and higher in play points. I think it's really important for FivePawns to manage his shadows appropriately here. He's going to have a very strong board situation right now.
Right.
And that means that he might not be concerned about that necromancy effect that Ector has to offer.
Especially, yeah, with a massive board. And even if you do destroy those followers, you earn those shadows back. 1 follower for 1 shadow. But the Death's Breath consuming those shadows definitely got to weigh the cost, and I think FivePawns is more than happy to get that Death's Breath, especially when you see Saber summoning Alwita's last turn, going for face damage. And now he's forced to summon Alwita's this turn. He's got it in his hand, and he's forced to go for tempo. He's forced to clear out the board.
And again, the Skeleton and the Orthrus survived the double Ector.
Oh my gosh, Ector's, oh man, that'd be such a great play right now. Oh, the zombie could trade into that.
I
And
wonder
that's
if
6
Cerberus is
damage.
a choice.
Cerberus also as well. Cerberus evolved would trade into that pirate really nicely. It's gonna be the Ector.
It's gonna get a zombie.
A zombie. Very true. We'll see if he decides to spin the Evolve Orb here, go for that extra damage. I don't think that is the play. Knowing that you have another Ector next turn, oh my gosh, absolutely crucial, especially with
So he
Fangblade
needs
Slayer.
to be careful here.
Right.
Saber really needs to consider. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
he's
I
dead.
think that might. Yeah, I think that might be game.
So if
Yep.
he,
Yeah, Ector, an evolved Orthrus or Skeleton with Ector. That's lethal right
Yep.
there. Yep. Man.
Yeah.
Really great from FivePawns.
And that's
being
what we're
able to-
talking about, right?
Yep.
That extra bit of damage or that loss of pressure
Gotta take what opponents you
could change everything. And the
Very true,
Death's
very true.
Breath as well. Kind of really putting a stop to any kind of aggressive strategy here.
Mhm.
FivePawns going to take the first game off the back of a very solid set of cards in the opening moments of the game.
Very
so
true. So he had a
we'll
great
see if
draw, and he was able to read Saber appropriately, knowing when he should go for tempo, knowing when he should go for face, seeing, okay, Alwidas is going for face damage, tempo. Okay, and then I've got the Ectors, now I can go for face damage. Now I can really ramp that up. And he didn't even need to play Cerberus.
yes. Yeah.
And mid-range Shadow showing us that it's still a powerhouse in the hands of the right player.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that board clear is just, I mean, that situation is just so strong. When you do play that Cerberus as well, I mean, it's not like he was out of options, right? He still had another Ector, still had that Phantom Howl.
all who
You know.
oppose shall be crushed.
We haven't
Okay.
seen this all day, and I am loving it. Forte on Forte battle.
Kind of a yucky hand for FivePawns.
But Saber, could this be a face dragon deck with Ivory Dragon and Fire Lizard?
I would imagine, yeah. And I'm interested to see how this matchup plays out, especially now with the changes. You don't quite have that immediacy that Zell provided you before, as well as there's no stop button at 10 where you play the banish and you say, okay, hold on, you know?
Very true. Wow, this is going to be a lot of Storm when
Double
Overflow
ward.
hits.
Double ward is going to be good here.
Oh, it's going to be crucial.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's got Grimnar on 3, Rahab on 4. No ramp to speak of until he gets to 5. Which, not the worst in the world,
Oh,
but as we
drawing into
know.
Breath of the Salamander. Almost a similar play to what we just saw last game of having 1 drop, 2 drop, there's a Grimnir, there's a 2 cost for 3 damage, and then going for
Yes.
face.
Got that 4 damage.
Man, talk about optimization with your decks.
Wrath Drake is, I think, a really good card to include. A lot of the Japanese decks have been including them as well, and I think just his utility is very, very strong. Removal on drop is cannot be undervalued in any way.
Very, very true. Man, an evolved Lyrial would be able to take out the Rahab and stay alive with 2 health, pinging for 1 damage from its ability. And then you've still got... so we've got the 3 drop and the Fire Lizards as well. There's options in the hand of Saber. He's certainly been able to hold on for tempo in these early stages of the game. We'll see how long it can last him when Draconic Fervor and Sybil are going to be coming out next turn. Possibly a Wrath Drake. But I think with the hands and the decks that we've seen from Saber, this deck that he's got, Wrath Drake on turn 8 could be absolutely massive.
The Dragoon Scyther will live here, but we're going into the Evolve turn.
And it's tricky for Sybil when there's a Dragoon Scyther on your side of the board. You can trade into Lyrial, but you gotta know that next turn either the Dragoon's going face or it's going right into the Sybil. So either way, a really solid choice from Saber, evolving that Dragoon even before you're in Overflow, so it doesn't even need to gain Storm.
And because you didn't get the ramp before this point, the Sybil is going to be played in a situation where you don't even get the self-healing, which could be crucial.
Could be absolutely crucial. Yeah, FivePawns is sitting on 13 health already. Turn 7, he could have the Rahab with the buffed attack points or the Draconic Fervor for some healing as well, but I think that Saber is more than happy to deal with. He's going to be in turn 5 right now. There's an Angel of the Word in his hand as well as the Fire Lizards. He still hasn't played those cards. There hasn't really been a great situation for it, pinging 1 damage to an enemy follower. See what the options are. There's Storm in hand when he gets into Overflow turn 7. And the Seaband Dragon.
All must come to an end.
Getting rid of that Sybil is absolutely crucial. I think he's more than happy to spin that ward knowing that it's already gained its value, taking out that Rahab last turn.
Saber and Dragon.
Ready to witness my true strength?
Still just wanting to spend evolution orbs for face here.
Mm.
And I think that's a great idea because you're in a situation where we know that Forte exists in the deck.
Right.
More than likely, something Genesis Dragon-y probably as well.
Very likely, very
But I
likely.
think really what Saber wants is just a double Forte back-to-back,
Mm.
right? We're about to get to that turn 9 point, which is really where FivePawns wants to be.
Right.
Because he wants to drop the Israfil for the healing and then
Mhm.
evolve and swing. But what's tough is your only remaining ward card in hand is Rahab.
Mm.
I think it's going to be important. Okay, Israfil will drop here.
And you can still evolve the Sahak Wheel and trade into the Ivory Dragon there. Just to get rid of all the followers on board when you've only got 10 health left.
I think that's very smart. No Evolve Orb here, so on turn 9, Israfil can drop for the healing, but won't provide any defensive capabilities outside of that.
Right, we'll have to wait for 2 turns for that to happen. And a Mushusu, when there's still 1 Evolve Orb left, that could be absolutely crucial. That's such a pain to deal with. But there's a Wrath Drake next turn, an enhanced Wrath Drake at that, doing 3 damage to all enemy followers.
Nothing in hand can really play around that for Saber.
Right. Yeah. And do you think Saber knows that card could be coming out next turn? He's got to be thinking of it. That card has gained more popularity over time.
It's been gaining popularity for sure. It is something that you do have to respect, but even if it wasn't the Wrath Drake, kind of having to now consider, okay, Sahak Wheel just came down with the Israfil.
There could be another Sahak Wheel with another Israfil.
Exactly.
Right? There's plenty of options that this Ramp Dragon deck has against
Just
this
committing
face,
2.
this face deck.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't swing face Wrath Drake.
No, but there could be. Yep. There could be. That would be a great play. There could be a Forte in hand of Saber. And he's still hanging on to that Evolve point, I think, for just that. A Forte, maybe a Genesis Dragon. But yeah, a Genesis Dragon's tricky. We're not going to be able. I think the game's going to be over before Genesis Dragon is relevant.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for tempo here, leaving the Sahak Wheel alive with 1 health. Oh, Griffin Knight. That could take out the Sahak Wheel, but you discard one of your cards. But the Fire Lizards haven't really been relevant. I think getting rid of one of those cards just to ping for damage, just to get the Sahak Wheel out of the board. The Fire Lizard's going to do just that.
This is... Gets rid of the second Fire Lizard.
And at 10 play orbs now, this is where Ramp Dragon comes alive. This is what makes it such a powerhouse, such a massive deck to deal with. There's Bahamut, there's Israfil, there's Ouroboros. There's plenty of options that FivePawns has. And I don't think there's going to be an option that Saber's going to draw into that could save him. An Ivory Dragon that's going to allow him to draw.
We'll see. He really needs
A Dragoon Scyther.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That's going to get rid of the Bahamut, but I mean, there's still... FivePawns has got plenty of options. He's sitting on one of the best decks in the game right now.
I can still see a scenario. I mean, having the Rahab in hand, I think, is really what gives me more confidence here. Because I could see a scenario where if Saber draws 2 Storm cards in a row and the game's over, right? Saber's still sitting on an Evolve point. Maybe set up the Israfil now while you can.
Just get that healing right out of the gate. Ouroboros getting that down, just starting the cycle, the endless appearance of this dragon. And the endless threat it poses.
And this is a good situation here. Oh man.
So the Storm card could trade into the Ouroboros, but of course that just starts the cycle. FivePawns will heal for 3 and be able to summon it next turn for another 3 damage.
Snacks, check. Harness, check. You have angered me.
All right. So FivePawns has 10 damage here. The Wrath Drake can't quite remove that.
It can't be attacked, but with Rahab in hand as well, getting that ward could be crucial.
Yeah, Rahab is very necessary. And this is why the ward is important, right? Because both Forte also works in this fashion. Healing up for 4 is going to put you outside of that immediate lethal range. But again, if you draw into a second Storm card, I can definitely see a situation where you lose.
I think the ward is gonna be what FivePawns wants, especially being able to just the ward, being able to mitigate one attack from one Storm follower. That could be what wins FivePawns the game. Is especially when that ward is able to get 5 attack or 6 attack if that's the only card you play, and that's enough to take out the IFA there.
What a decision you have to make at this point in the game.
Playing Easterfield, this could lose him the game. IFA can't be attacked.
Okay, reduce damage on board as he can. 8 damage to face.
Oh my gosh, what's the draw?
The second turn is going to be...
Seabrand Dragon. Oh my gosh, that's 10 damage.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
God.
Saber, what are you doing to us?
Why? 5 and... Oh my God.
Goodness.
The one thing that was real strong here for 5 was having the Rahab. And what must you be thinking about in that scenario, right? You play the Rahab, and what ruins your day, right? Another
Dragoon
Scyther,
right,
and then the same situation where you draw the enhanced the Storm drop. That could lose it for you.
Yep. But the IFA would have only had 4 attack. The Dragoon Scyther would have been able to take out the Rahab. Either way. But Saber, man, coming in clutch, man. Making the right decisions, knowing when to go face for with Aphia that one turn, knowing his deck would come through for him.
Barely skirting kind of a lethal situation here against 5Pawns. He's going to tie it up 1-on-1, and so now Saber is back to Swordcraft, this time against Ramp Dragon. A situation where Ramp Dragon has a ramp aspect of Ramp Dragon. And he still needs to kind of draw into Sybil, and if he does, I really feel like it's incredibly unlikely that Saber will win out the match.
And I love the Alia into this Veteran Lancer. The Veteran Lancer is not going to trade into Alia. But next turn, you can do just that and get that orb.
Doesn't quite have it. No turn 5 Sybil. But he's still ramping. Provided the opportunity to take the Alia and trade in.
And he's got the Grimnir and the Breath of the Salamander as well. He's going to use both those cards on the same turn.
Anything to slow down your opponent. And, you know, you have the Wrath Drake for any kind of AoE clear. You're not that far from it.
Right.
2 turns away still.
2 turns
Floral
away
Fencer only now just coming online.
Right. And first of all, for the Saber with the Floral Fencer, and now 5Pawns is already on 7 play orbs. He could already
he's got the Sahag buff.
Oh my gosh.
And next turn he has, okay, he's going to do Wrath Drake this turn. And he has Luriel.
That's gonna clear the board effectively, for sure. Being able to ping that for 1 and trade in the Floor Fencer as well. But what's the next turn for Saber? He's got the Albert. That could be face damage. It could be tempo. Then there's only 2 cards in the hand of 5Pawns.
Oh, front guard. So front guard is interesting in terms of an interaction against Bahamut because it's a last word effect.
Right.
Bahamut comes over and lays waste to everything. Then front guard general from the ashes like the Phoenix. Rises. Actually, it's not the front guard general, it's his buddy. I imagine front guard general has like a kangaroo pouch, and that's where he keeps the other guy in there.
His little friend.
Yeah. And it's like the front guard general is like whatever his line's like. Storm. What does he say when he plays?
Oh my gosh, I know this.
And then the little guy comes up and he has like this squeaky voice, like, "I'll defend you.
Put me in the game, coach.
I'm ready.
I'm ready." Yeah. Anyway, this is gonna be the Hot Wheel, Bahamut, and a Grimnir.
It's not looking good.
It's not.
It's looking real grim. Near.
Oh, I cannot believe you just said that. Your puns are on point today, dude.
Oh,
it's not. No. It's not something to be ashamed of at all. It is great. I might play like the cringy, but dude, like puns, like that's the only way anyone can react to a pun.
Yeah, that's the understood etiquette.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so not even turn 7 here for Saber, and 5Pawns is going to be hitting the high numbers here.
Hitting the very high numbers. Turn 9. Oh my goodness.
This
What's the
draw is going to be
here?
important, I think, for FivePawns.
Draconic Fervor. Yeah. He's going to heal. It's not the worst thing. It could have been.
I think it's going to be pretty dangerous because front guard added into the mix next turn here. Plus, if you're going to be taking all this face damage. Now, all 3 of the evolution orbs spent by Saber kind of hurts them, right?
And you still got the 2 blazing breaths as well, so you're going to be able to get rid of the Floral Fencer and the Steelclad Knight. And one of the other knights if you want to do that, but it's going to be face damage.
Yeah.
12 damage. Or 12
I mean, with
health
those
for
2
Saber.
cards in hand that FivePawns has, it may just be 2 cards, but it's 2 great, fantastic cards.
It might be the
If
front guard
by
general,
some miracle situation, Saber can make it to turn 10, you've got back-to-back Grimners.
But are back-to-back Grimners going to be able to help you against a Bahamut?
What is the removal for Bahamut, right? I mean, are you going to try to do 13 damage to him? Or are you going to try to look for a Tsubaki or a Dance of Death, or what is it, you know? But even Tsubaki is in an awkward situation because the Bahamut into the Grimner naturally kind of, you know, plays into it, right? Bahamut, Tsubaki, Bahamut, Grimner, Tsubaki.
Oh man, the Evolved Sahaku are going to be able to take out that front card general, and then the Fortress guard.
There it is.
Taken out by that Bahamut.
But that's the last evolution orb spent here.
Right.
What is your removal?
Now he's laying the gauntlet
down.
My
God!
Slayer.
Oh my God!
Absolutely crucial. So they're both going to die, but there's still a Grimnir in the hand of FivePawns. But there's 2 Grimnirs in the hand of Saber. That's not
exactly.
great.
And look at the health totals. It's not like Saber is behind.
They're very even. Oh, it needs to fill.
God!
Okay, that's great. That's absolutely stellar. Exactly what FivePawns wanted to draw. I think the heal and just that massive board presence of an 8/8 follower. There could be an Albert.
Oh, man, but it's not going to be enough to take it down. And this is what we're talking about with the evolution orbs, right? If Albert had that evolve, this would actually be a fantastic card in this scenario.
Oh my gosh, and I think FivePawns is going to be able to. Win it.
10
damage with Grimnir.
Yep.
That's game right there.
Oh
Pawns.
My God.
Oh,
and the Genesis Dragon just for the cherry on top. Going for it. Which are you going to choose? Thank you for choosing Genesis. Thank you.
It's going to be the Storm.
I appreciate.
We've seen Grimnir win already. Let's see that Genesis Dragon. And we do. FivePawns advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah. What was the other option? I don't know if there was. Okay. You would have to play both Grimners, right?
The ward would have...